believe it or not, as open as this boat is, it is the most inconvenient, uncomfortable thing to ever work on in your lifetime. It even takes a step ladder just to get in and out of it, and along with everything that you want to take in and out of it, you have to take up and down the step ladder. Just getting the top on and off of it can be a pain in the ass. So, what are we going to find after 18 months? Probably not going to be pretty. Not good. I have to show you all this. It's not pretty. Got the moldies. It's maybe hard to see on the camera. Some sunlight here. It's not so bad everywhere else. But look at my top. That's gross. Lucky enough I got another top already. But here she is in all her glory. It's hard to imagine that just 2 outings ago, this boat came home with an armful of rewards. We've got a lot of work to do. We have some cleaning, we have some upgrades, and we have a whole lot of maintenance. First things are first, we need sunlight. After a decade of doing this, still gets the adrenaline pumped a little bit just opening up the hatches. Now that we've seen the mess, it's time to fix a few things. Today I guess we'll be de-winterizing and maybe start working on the fuel system if we have time. Here's the first inconvenient truth about owning a race boat. Everything looks exposed and ready to be worked on. That can be further from the truth. The front of the motor's down here, and as I gain weight, makes it really hard to get to. Now, the top is pretty easy, but then the sides are kind of buried underneath the stringers here, and the only thing you can stand on is either the outward stringer or the inward stringer, or if you like to stand at basically a 25-degree angle. And it's really good for the calves, but after about 20 minutes of that, you're done with it. To get to the front of the motor, you also have to remove this bar. The bar can be removed with just a couple wing nuts on each end. Not that we haven't tried to make it more convenient. And we do have our deck in here. The only flat space you can stand on. And as you can see, it's hinged. And it can roll up from either end to make the whole drive line exposed at any one time. But this motor sits deep between the stringers, and it doesn't make much for convenience. Okay, we got some plugs to put in, which we always leave right on top of our motor in a Ziploc bag so they don't get lost. And we got some hoses to put on, and a lot of crawling around to do. Let's get to it. Okay, that was 3 hoses. I only came out with some minor scratching this year, which is a big plus. Next I'm going to do my drains. Really appreciative that I put in those block drain extenders. Also, I use these clamp aids They're little rubber ends that go on top of the end of a hose clamp so they don't become lethal weapons. Good thought. Alright, so that's what it took to get all the hoses and plugs in. Next we're going to do an oil change. Of course, that's always fascinating, isn't it? And from there we get to move on to the rear motor. Even more fun. One trick I do like to use, I'll take a Ziploc baggie. I always use a new one because I don't want anything that's got any holes in it. Slide it up underneath this oil filter. That way, when I'm turning it off, the oil has nowhere to go. For old oil, that's pretty darn clean. Well, with the oil filter on, that pretty much does it for the front motor. Now it's time to go have fun with the back one. And with all good news comes bad. We seem to have developed a, looks like a transmission fluid leak out of the rear main seal. Maybe just because it sat so long, we don't know. Doesn't look major at the moment, but we'll tend to figure it out as we start slinging things. You may be looking at one of the first set of K-planes in existence. Simple L brackets made of aluminum, reinforced. Simple plate, through bolted with rubber garments. It's a discrepancy on whether this is a landing gear or an airplane flap actuator, but it's an airplane part. And it's run off of a Mercruiser trim pump. One for each. Next we need to put in the plugs into our sea strainers. We left them out one time and couldn't figure out why the boat was filling up with water. Didn't take much. And this one's even worse than the front motor. Top side, there's even less room. And we got to get back there and down there. As you can see, one of the issues here is headroom. And it's about as low as I can get in the boat without causing serious injury to my manliness.
Now it won't let me go. How did it get control? Who let it in? Would that be me? It won't let me sleep, covering my soul. Who let it in? Well, that'd be me.
We got our hoses back on and our plugs in, and it looks like we may have to try a different thing to get to those rear bolts. When the basket gets so full that you can't see the tools anymore, it's time to regroup. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and let us know you're out there. Now we've seen the mess, it's time to fix some stuff. When the basket gets so full, when the